You met a guy?
I don't think I'm his type. He's like gay Tom Brady.
What are you into? One of these ripped idiots with no opinions?
No, I'd like someone who's physically very frail and won't stop talking.
And I bet he's as intimidated by you as you are by him.
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, I can do whenever and I can do whatever.
Cool, whatever, whenever. GIF of Michael Scott dancing.
Office GIF? This person isn't gay.
Hey, what's up?
No. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
I've got a bit of a confession to make. I actually met my husband on Grindr.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And so my relationship literally started with a hey, what's up?
Oh,
and then
amazing.
8 years later, here we are. We're married. We've got a dog. You know, it's very serious.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? A lot. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot is up.
Yeah,
apparently.
so it worked for me. I just want to thank you for this film. You know, as a gay man, you know, it feels pretty good to know that a film like this now exists.
Oh.
And I'm really excited for people to see it.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm going to tell them all about it, obviously. Now, your film satirizes a lot of gay culture and the stereotypes that come along with it. But what is it really shining a light on?
I mean, at the end of the day, Billy and I wanted to make something that was really, really funny and that you watch it and that suddenly you're crying. Which is like, you know, I mean, that's what my goal with most of the movies I've made, is to make people laugh really hard and then suddenly feel emotion when they weren't expecting it and walk out just on a high. So that was really the goal, ultimately.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I laughed quite loudly often throughout the film.
And also to educate people on poppers, that was the second goal. So there are two goals.
Get on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you co-wrote the film with Billy Eichner, and who is, you know, well established within the comedic world. But what made you sure that he could pull off the romantic lead in Bros?
I knew him from Billy on the Street, which I think you have here in some form. So I knew he was really funny. And then I cast him in Neighbors 2, and then I cast him in a show that I created with my wife called Friends from College. And he was a really good actor. So he turned out to be just an excellent actor. I didn't know that. And then we screened the first episode of that show in a movie theater. And every time Billy was on screen, he destroyed. And I was like, oh, he's like a movie star. This guy's a movie star. But he'd done some really emotional stuff in Friends from College. Fred Savage played his boyfriend and then husband, and they had a lot of kind of emotional stuff, and I just knew. My instinct was like, this guy can pull off this romantic thing, and it will be surprising because people haven't seen him do that before.
No, because this is his first lead in a big film as well. It's
Oh, yeah.
quite extraordinary. He really holds his own
Yeah.
in this movie and carries it. It's awesome.
He's so charismatic, and he's so funny, and he's such a strong point of view, and he's a joke delivery system. I mean, he's really good at delivering jokes.
That's one way of putting
you know?
it.
Yeah. JDS.
Yeah,
A joke-
JDS.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
To use the industry term. That's not a term.
Of course. We all know.
Yeah, JDS.
Now, Bobby says not all gay people are nice. Is that true of Billy too? No, I'm joking.
No, he's nice.
He's nice.
Yeah.
Now, authenticity must have been at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
Writing and coming up with this story with Billy, how did you yourself, as a straight man, have that at the forefront of your mind? How important was that for you, and how did you and Billy work together to find that voice?
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, you know, for years I'd been, I've made 3 rom-coms, but for years I'd been intrigued by the idea of making a romantic comedy about two men falling in love. But I'm straight, and I felt like I could not make that movie, or if I did, it would be really bad, and no one would want to see it. And so, and it was just in the back of my mind. And then when I met Billy and worked with him, I was like, oh, this guy deserves a comedy vehicle built around him, and a romantic comedy seems interesting. And he was into that idea. And you know, from the very beginning, I said the 3 rules of the movie are: it has to be super funny, it has to have a happy ending, because that's the kinds of movies I like to make, and it has to be honest. It has to be really honest. I did not want to make a movie about where you switch out the guy and it's like a guy and a girl, and you switch out the girl with a guy. You know, you don't want that. It need to be honest to the experience. And so I just listened, and that's something I do as a director. I listen to him, I listen to his stories, I listen to everyone's stories, and just tried to be as honest as possible.
Now, in terms of hearing people's stories, the whole principal cast are LGBTQ+. How did you find that cast?
A long audition process, you know, and early on we decided to go that way for a few reasons. Just in terms of what the movie's about, it seemed appropriate thematically, but also we knew that if we dug deep and found this cast, that it would be, you know, the secret weapon of any comedy is casts that you haven't seen before, or comedians you haven't seen before. Like if you think about Melissa McCarthy and Bridesmaids as an example, you know, and so we just read everyone on earth, and the goal was to find the funniest people. It wasn't, that was the goal. And so we found all these people. And some people, like Jim Rash and Dot Marie Jones have been around a little bit, but there are other people like Eve Lindley or T.S. Madison who haven't and who are so funny. And so it was great. It was exciting to get to give these actors a big stage to do this.
Bobby is a podcaster, which resonates with me.
Yeah. Did we pull it off? I feel like we kind of did. It's kind of real and kind of fake. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's quite authentic.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Bobby's quite opinionated.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What would he say about Bros on his podcast if he saw the film?
He'd probably say like, I went in not wanting to like it. It ended up being cute.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he'd say.
That's it. That'd be the whole review.
That'd be the whole thing. It was cute.
I promise when we review it, Lee and I, that I'll say more than that. Yeah. We'll go deep.
Well, he's not a movie review podcast. He's like a culture. It's like culture and history. So I think it was movies, maybe something different. Yeah. But that's but you should ask him. He could probably have a good sense of it.
Let's talk about sex. Mm-hmm. So sex scenes.
Finally.
We
can finally get into it.
Yeah. Now, sex scenes can often be a battle to get across the line, however you look at it. Did you come up against any negotiation challenge about what you could and couldn't put in this movie? No.
It was, all the movies I've made have had sex scenes in them, almost all of them, except for Muppets, I guess. That one doesn't have, we cut the sex scene. No, but it was, but all the movies I've directed, they're all R-rated. I don't know how you can make an R-rated romantic comedy and not have sex in it. It would be dishonest, and it wouldn't, that's a big part of relationships. And so from the beginning, Billy and I in the studio were like, this is going to have sex scenes. We didn't even talk about it. We just knew it. And you have to follow certain rules. There's my joke about the movie is that with a straight, R-rated romantic comedy, you have bra sex, which is where the woman's, and this is underwear sex. I know those scenes, they wouldn't be wearing underwear. So that was the only thing we had to do just because I didn't know how to shoot without underwear. So, but it was important, and there wasn't any, you follow where the audience leads you. We tested the movie. The audience laughed really hard at all of it. The main experience I had of testing the movie was the audience just being like, finally this movie exists. Straight, gay, it doesn't matter. Everyone, the whole crowd was like that. So it wasn't ever really an issue.
I'm a huge fan of your work within the genre.
Oh, thank you.
What makes a really good romantic comedy? What do you need to have? What elements do you need to have to make it work?
It's the chemistry between the two leads and really digging deep in the two characters and figuring out their psychology. And I think also not having a movie based on miscommunication or mistakes. I always call bullshit on that. And then a good run. One of them needs to run to the other one at some point.
Yes, the run.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
did appreciate. I giggled to myself in that moment, and also the music as well. This film feels like an authentic romantic comedy with that great score.
We got Mark Shaman, who's done some of the biggest romantic comedies ever, and he's brilliant. And his score is beautiful.
Yeah, he is the sound of romantic comedies, I guess. Yeah. Vulnerability is not a boner killer was one of my favorite lines in the film.
It might be my favorite line in the movie, too.
Yeah, great.
The first time that's been called out, it's kind of the whole movie in one line.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. It actually gives me a bone of vulnerability. So what has been some good relationship advice that you've either been given or dished out?
Ooh, I don't know. I think just being honest is really the only thing I can think, except when you shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find the line.
I make these things. I'm not really a therapist or anything, so I don't know.
Well, your film is therapy in some way because it's a story that hasn't been told before, and people will really resonate with it and see themselves in it, maybe for the very first time.
That's been the really exciting thing screening it. A lot of people have reached out to Billy and have reached out to me and just been like, I was so moved by this to see my story, But also a lot of straight people have been like, I see myself in this story, or a lot of, I feel like with any movie, then this is any story really, the more specific you are, the more kind of universal and relatable it is.
Yeah, that's it. It is very universal despite the topic and the characters in it for sure.
Yeah.
Now, in wrapping up, I've really loved talking to you, Nick. Thanks for your time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
What are you hoping it will achieve for the queer community, and what do you hope people will take away from seeing Bros?
I just hope people have a blast. Every time I make a movie, I want it to be really entertaining. And I hope people leave the theater filled with love, that really is a thing. And that if you go on a date night, you have sex afterwards. That's really the ultimate goal of any theatrical comedy, romantic comedy. It's for the
love
audience
that.
to have sex.
Yeah, that's it. Go bone each other.
Go
Come on.
Boney, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Nick. Your film will change lives. It will save lives for those up-and-coming queer kids. Thank you for holding space for them with your film.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.